I'm going to show you 5 blues licks that had an impact on my guitar playing. These licks contributed massively to my guitar playing and helped me grow as an improviser and as a soloist. This lesson contains licks that I learned right from the start of my guitar playing to some of the most recent ones. I will also explain why each lick impacted and helped my guitar playing journey. Now, these aren't just licks that I made up. These are licks that have been lifted and copied from actual songs, from real guitar solos and from real guitar players. That's the way that I recommend that everyone learns to improvise. You copy other guitar players' phrases and then you make them your own. I'm going to show you the licks in their original key, but I'm also going to show them to you in 2 additional useful guitar keys. This will help you to see how to move them around the neck and how to weave them into your own guitar playing. All of the licks are primarily in minor pentatonic, position 1, so hopefully you're familiar with that scale. Without further ado, here's the first lick. It's from the acoustic solo of Layla by Eric Clapton. And this is from the first solo. It's from around bar 10. So even though it's an acoustic guitar solo, it's still a great blues lick. Let's have a look. It's in the key of D minor. Here's the lick in its entirety. So now I'm going to break that down. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. So we have 10 on the B string, 13 on B, 10 on the high E string, 12 on the high E string, and then hammer on pull off 10, 12. 13 on B, 10 on the high E string, 13 B, 10 B, 12 on G. So 12 G, 10 B, 12 G, and then hammer on pull off on 10 to 12, 9, 10, and then that's the end of it. This lick is important to me because the acoustic version of Layla, that first acoustic solo, is the first guitar solo I ever learned. And this lick is the first lick that I ever learned in pentatonic position. So it's not entirely strictly pentatonic because the fret 12, when he goes up on here on the high E string, that's the 2nd or the 9th. However, that's a cool note to get into your guitar playing. So whether that's the first lick that you'll ever learn, or if you want to spice up your guitar playing a little bit by adding in notes that aren't strictly from the pentatonic scale, that's a really cool one to add in. It's a nice little descending lick, and it's not too difficult to get down in position 1. Let's have a look at it in 2 more keys. First of all, we're going to do the popular guitar key of A minor. So we're going to be on the 5th fret, A minor pentatonic, position 1. The lick sounds like this. So like that. That 9th down there on that fret 4 killer note, it's also on the 7th fret of the high E string. So slower, 5, 8 B, 5, 7 high E, hammer on pull off between those 2, 8 B, back to 5 high E, 8 on the B, 5 on the B, 7 G, 5 B, back to 7 G, hammer on pull off between these 2, 5 and 7, and then 4, 5. Like that. Let's also take a look at that one in F sharp minor. So I'm just going to quickly whiz through. You can do these in 2 different positions on the guitar. So first of all, let's do it on the 2nd fret down here. So we have like that. Or you can go up to here on the 14th fret and the 17th fret. And it sounds like that. Great lick, not too difficult, splits up the scale nicely. Again, first one that I ever learned that wasn't just running up and down the scale, so really cool. Lick number 2. This is from the 2nd solo of Comfortably Numb by David Gilmour, Pink Floyd. It's a great blues lick in position 1. It's in the key of B minor. Let's take a listen to it. I'm going to break that down. I'm going to explain it, slow it down a little bit. Let's get it under the fingers. So first of all, we have 10 to 7 on the B string, 9 on G, and then we're going to bend. So nice full tone bend. Fret 9. Then we're going to roll the first finger across, classic blues cliche here, 7 B, 7 high E, and then pull off between 10 and 7 on B. 9 on G. We're going to do a pre-bend on the 9th fret of the G, release, pull off to 7. So get that bend and release. You can either bend it up and down like that, or you can do it as a pre-bend, doesn't matter. Then we're going to do this technique here. So we've got 9 on D, and then you're going to roll your 3rd finger across to the 9th fret on the G like that. So you don't want to hop like this. So like that. That'll slow you down. So roll across like that. It's almost like a little bar. And then we're going to go 7 on G, and then we've got 9 to 7 on D. Then we've got 9, 8, 7 on the A string, slide down to 5, and then we're going to do 7 on the low E string and 5 on the A string. We're in position 5 of pentatonic here, but only for a little bit of it, so it's not too bad. This lick was one of the hardest things that I ever learned. So I'd only been playing guitar for a little while, but that lick there in roughly bar 76, that took me ages to get that down, especially that little 3rd finger roll across there. But it was one of the most musical phrases that I learned, and I've since modified and changed it so many times that it's become unrecognizable from what it was. But it was kind of the first thing that was rhythmic and a little bit fast, and that I could speed up and down, and it made my playing sound really good. So I used to throw that in all the time in different keys. It's also got a great little kind of bouncy triplet bluesy rhythm, and it even uses a little bit of the blues scale when it goes down onto the A string, which is really cool. You really want to get that into your pentatonic box playing as well. Let's take a look at that lick in 2 more keys. So first of all, I'm going to show you in the very popular and very common guitar key of E minor up on the 12th fret. So we have this. Kind of has a Stevie Ray Vaughan vibe when it's up there on that 12th fret. It sounds really cool. To break that down, we're going to pull off between 15 and 12 on the B, 14 G, bend that string, 12 B, 12 high E, pull off between 12 and 15 on the B, 14 G, bend this string, pull off to 12, roll that finger across 14 D, 14 G, 12 G with your 1st. Then we're going to go down that blues scale, 14, 12, 14, 13, 12 on the A string, slide down to position 5 in that key, which is 10 on the A string, 12 on the low E, and then 10 on the A string. Let's have a look at that in another popular guitar key, G minor. I shall just whiz through this one. We're here on the 3rd fret with the 1st finger. We are going to pull off between the 6th and the 3rd to begin with, so it's going to sound like this. Kind of got a ZZ Top Billy Gibbons type flavour when it's played in that position. Lick number 3. This is from the solo to Jump by Van Halen. It's the first lick that he plays after the high B flat up here. So Eddie Van Halen, not commonly associated with blues licks and blues playing, but despite all of the 2-hand tapping and the guitar pyrotechnics, he is a great blues player. This guy learned Eric Clapton licks while he was first learning to play guitar, so his playing is very much rooted in the blues, and he comes out with some fantastic ideas that you can borrow and use in your own guitar playing. So this is in the slightly unusual key of B flat minor, so your 1st finger is going to be on the 6th fret. So let's have a listen to it up to speed. I'm going to put some more distortion on to kind of make it sound more like the song. So we've got... Let's break that down. We have 6 on the high E string. Then we're going to bend 9 on the B. Then we're going to go 1st finger, 6 on the high E, 6 on the B. And when you get to the 6 on the B, you're actually going to hammer on pull off between the 9th fret and the 6th. So, like that. So, and then we've got this bit. Now, this bit took me ages to get this down when I first learned this. So we have blues scale, we've got 9th fret on the G, and the difficult part is the string skip to the 6th fret of the high string. So, blues note, 9th fret on the G, 6 on the high string, and then another string skipping thing. We're going to go down this blues scale, so we've got 9, 8, and then 6 on the G. And you're going to pull them all off like that. So, like that. So, then we're going to 8 on the D, and then that's a really cool lick in itself at the end. You're just going to hammer on between 6 and 8 on the G, 6 on the B, and then end on 6 on the G. Why that lick is cool, it was one of the first really fast licks that I learned to play. It has string skipping, but the most important thing for me was that blues scale thing on the 9th fret of the G. Now, if you go back to Comfortably Numb that I was showing you earlier, I could play the blues scale and weave that into my pentatonic box 1 playing on the A string. But I hadn't really seen it on the G string in box 1 yet. So that one really taught me how to use that note. Once I learned how to do it in this song, there was no stopping me. I was adding that in probably all the time, and probably a little bit too much actually. It soon evened itself out though. We will take a look at that in other keys. Now, the other thing is, if you can't play that lick up to speed, then don't worry. We can slow it down. I'm actually going to show it to you in the key of E minor, and I'm going to show it to you with a different feel and at a different tempo. So if it's too fast at the original tempo, slow it down, make it your own, get it into your playing, it's fine. So going back to my original tone as well, we have... has a really cool feel at that tempo. So let's just break that down a little bit. We've got 12 on the high E string, bend the 15th fret on the B, roll your first finger, 12 high E, 12 B, hammer on pull off when you get to the 12 B, like that. Then we've got 15 on the G, 12 on the high E string, pull off from 15, 14, 12 on the G, 14 on the D, hammer on from 12 to 14 on G, and then 12, 12 like that. Let's have a listen to that lick in G minor, another really useful guitar key. That was at more of a moderate tempo. I think it sounded pretty cool. Lick number 4. Now this is The Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. And I believe the guitarist is Chris Hayes. It's a really cool lick. It's in the key of C minor. Again, pentatonic box 1. Let's have a listen to it. That is a killer lick. Now, this one, I didn't learn this until actually a few years ago. Someone had requested to learn it for a guitar lesson, and I found that lick in particular quite challenging. Even though I got to the stage in my guitar playing journey where I was well versed in blues pentatonic licks in box 1, that one kind of caught me out a bit. So I had to really practice that one before the lesson to get it down and to show it to my student. However, it soon found its way into my playing, and I do little variations of that quite often. So it did have an impact on me later on, and it just taught me that even though you can learn loads of licks, hundreds and thousands of licks, you can still learn something. Let's break it down. So we've got this. We're going to start with the 8th fret on the D, hammering onto the 10th. 8th on the G, and then we're going to bend the 8th fret on the G like this. We're going to do that same kind of bluesy cliche from Comfortably Numb. We're going to roll the first finger across, 8B, 8 high E string, then pull off from the 11th fret on the B to the 8th fret on the D. Then we're going to go to 10 on the G, back to 8 on the B. Then when you get to the 10th fret on the G with your ring finger, you're going to bend up and down and pull off to the 8th fret of the G like that. 10 on the D, then you're going to start doing this pull off sequence. This is actually the tricky part for me. We're going to pull off from 10 to 8 on the G, then pull off from 10 to 8 on the D, and then you're going to go back to 8 on the G, and then you're going to go pull off from 10 to 8 on the D, 10A, and then back to that pull off sequence, but this time it's 10 to 8 on the D, and then 10 to 8 on the A. So that bit's tricky, I think. So and then we're going to go blues scale run up here, really nice. Change the rhythm as well. We've got 8 on the A, 9 on the A, 10 on the A, 8 to 10 on the D, and then 8 on the G, and then bend this 10th fret and repick it like that. Let's take a look at that lick in 2 more useful keys. Again, I'm going to the very useful and very common guitar key of E minor on fret 12. So fret 12, pentatonic box 1, we have... Now I'm going to show it to you in the other very useful guitar key of A minor, which is on fret 5. So we have this. Great lick, move it around the neck, get it in as many keys as possible. Really nice. Lick number 5 is from Slow Dancing in a Burning Room by John Mayer. Again, this one was requested by a different student, but one of the licks in this solo really did catch me out. It was a little bit tricky to get down, mainly because of the sudden turn of pace in the middle of the lick, but it's really cool. I use it quite a lot now in various different forms. I kind of disguise it a little bit in my playing, which is what you should be trying to do when you get more advanced with this stuff. But let's take a listen to it. It's in the key of C sharp minor, so it's on the 9th fret of the guitar, 9th fret pentatonic box. So slower. Again, similar to Huey Lewis and the News, that one was a tricky one for me to get down. I learned quite a lot from it. I thought the rhythm was really cool. And again, because it had an impact on me later on in my guitar journey, I decided to include it on this list. Hi everyone. Unfortunately, I had some audio issues while I was filming the last section of Slow Dancing in a Burning Room. My guitar, while I was doing the slow breakdown, so the note by note thing, my guitar just started to sound like a weird ring modulator type thing, and it sounded terrible. So I only noticed this while I was editing the video, so I thought I'd quickly edit this explanation in. The slow breakdown is missing. Hopefully you can get the lick from the slow version that I did with the tab on the screen. The lick in the 2 additional keys is also missing. So I've put the 2 additional keys on my website as well as the full tab. Hopefully you can get it from there. And again, apologies for the audio issues. Hopefully that won't happen again. So there you have it, 5 licks that genuinely changed and shaped my guitar playing right from my early years all the way through to even the last couple of years. My guitar playing is always evolving and always changing. I also think the biggest lesson from this video is that learning licks from other guitar players and from records and learning them from songs is more useful than just learning generic licks from a book. Again, nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with coming up with your own ideas, but the foundation should be to take licks from other guitar players, modify them, change them as you go along, weave them into your playing naturally, practice them in time, practice them over backing tracks, practice improvising with them, try and practice them when you're playing live, and eventually they become your own. Try learning these licks in as many keys as possible. I went through the popular ones, try and learn them in E flat minor, B flat minor, A flat minor, all the weird keys. Try and get them in as many different places on the neck as you possibly can, and practice them at different tempos with different rhythms. Vary them up, add your own sauce to them. It's going to sound great. Let me know in the comments which licks you like the most, which licks were your favorites. If this video was helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, check out my website colchesterguitarteacher.com for more video lessons and tips and tutorials. Consider booking a one-on-one lesson with me. Again, visit my website, colchesterguitarteacher.com. And until next time, my friends, thank you very much. Take care and enjoy guitar playing.